Brethren, thank you for your interest in Royalarch Freemasonry and for allowing us a small portion of your valuable time. My name is Don Blair, and at the time of preparing this presentation, I have the honour and privilege to be the leader of Royalarch Freemasonry in our great state of Western Australia. As a Master Mason with 1 full year of service, you are qualified to join our wonderful order. Membership of the order will lead you to the Royalarch degree, which is the pinnacle of ancient craft Freemasonry. It is important to understand that the Royalarch is the only degree outside of craft Freemasonry that is fully recognised as part of pure ancient Freemasonry by Grand Lodge. We are therefore very aware of our privileged position within the family of Freemasonry and proud of our close fraternal relationship with Grand Lodge. Here in Western Australia, the governing body of the order is the Supreme Grand Royalarch Chapter, which also administers a number of other degrees, 2 of which are special degrees called the Marked Master's degree and the Excellent Master's degree. These 2 degrees are required before you can become a Royalarch Mason. In other states of Australia and overseas, these degrees are worked and administered separately and therefore require a much larger commitment of time by its members. We are indeed fortunate to have them both together in the one order, for each of these degrees provides the best possible preparation for the Royalarch degree itself. My brother on my left is dressed in the regalia of the marked degree. This degree is said to date back to the ceremony of registering a craftsman's mark to authorise him to work on the building of the Holy Temple. On my right, my brother is dressed in the regalia of the Excellent degree. This degree reenacts a series of events which took place 70 years after the destruction of King Solomon's Temple. I should also tell you that the title of Royalarch Companion is reserved for those Masons who have taken the Royalarch degree. So at this stage of your progress in the order, you will still be known and addressed as brother. Before we go inside the chapter room, I would like to take this opportunity to make one more very important point about the title Companion. This title is synonymous with the close, lifelong bonds of friendship that are formed between the members of our order. As companions, we greatly enjoy each other's company, and although we are serious about our ritual and the great lessons of morality to be derived from them, we are a happy order and see nothing wrong in expressing our fraternal joy and happiness towards one another at all our gatherings. It is now my pleasure to invite you to join me with the companions inside the chapter room. Welcome into our chapter room, and I would now like to direct your attention to our eminent companion.
Brethren, as you are new to these surroundings, allow me to orientate you and familiarise you with the general layout of the chapter room. In the centre of the mosaic pavement are arranged some of the important symbols of our order. You will notice the working tools of the degree: the pickaxe, the crowbar, the shovel, and the candlesticks, which are arranged in a specific pattern pertinent to the degree and the banners of the 12 tribes of Israel. At the opposite ends of the pavement are positioned 2 primary objects of focus of our order, namely the representation of an altar in the shape of a double cube of white marble and the volume of the sacred law. Seated in the east are the 3 principals who rule the chapter, the first, second and third, who may be likened to a worshipful master, a senior and a junior warden of a craft lodge. Above the first principal is the banner depicting the triple Tor within a triangle. In the west sit the 3 sojourners, who in some respects have similarities to deacons. This companion is the superintendent of works, and to his right is the first of the 2 scribes, who is called Nehemiah. Opposite him is Scribe Ezra, who in effect is the secretary of the chapter, and next to him is the treasurer. The ceremony of exaltation, or degree of Royalarch, reenacts the rebuilding of Jerusalem and the Second Temple. The candidate represents a new arrival in Jerusalem on his release from captivity in Babylon and is set to work on the construction of the new temple. In the execution of the work, he accidentally discovers the great treasure of Freemasonry, the lost word of a master mason. The Royalarch degree is therefore regarded as the summit of craft Freemasonry, and it is a continuation and completion of the story of Jewish history, which begins with the building of King Solomon's temple, continues with the tragedy of its demise, and culminates with the great triumph of its reconstruction and dedication. The degree is an ancient one which can be traced as far back as the 16th century. It is absolutely correct to say that the degree of Royalarch completes the education of a Master Mason and reveals the total story of ancient craft Freemasonry. A feature of Royalarch Freemasonry is its vibrant colour. This vibrancy is enhanced by the robes or gowns of some of the officers of the chapter, and it is very evident in those worn by the three principals. These colours have a deep symbolic meaning, which are carefully detailed in our ceremonies. You will notice that the officers of the chapter wear collars of red, suspended from which are the jewels of their office. In the case of the sojourners, you will see that they bear those working tools that are displayed upon the pavement. Other officers of the chapter includes the director of ceremonies. The janitor is stationed outside the door, as is a tiler in craft lodges. Prayers are given by the third principal, and the third sojourner attends to admissions, as does the inner guard. Now let's look at the personal regalia of the order. The regalia of the Royalarch Mason consists of an apron, sash and jewel. The apron is trimmed with a blue and red with a variegated border. In the centre of the flap is the triple tor within a triangle on a white background. The ornamental tassels are suspended on white ribbons. The sash of the same design as the apron border is worn over the left shoulder, with the triple tor and triangle at the hip. The tassellation or fringe is of the same colours as the sash itself. The jewel of a Royalarch Mason is worn on the left breast against the heart. All Royalarch Masons are encouraged to wear this jewel in their lodges with their craft regalia, a practice endorsed and approved by the Grand Lodge. Once a companion reaches the position of third principal, his title changes to Most Excellent Companion, and the trim on the regalia changes from white to red. The tassellation on the sash changes to gold, and the ribbon on the Royalarch jewel also changes to red. The additional and very beautiful breast jewel worn by this Most Excellent Companion is the jewel of a past principal. This jewel is worn only within the confines of the chapter. This wonderful set of regalia, in my opinion, the most impressive in Australian Freemasonry, is the regalia of a Grand Officer. You will notice that the ribbon on the jewel is now a tricolour, same as the Grand Officer's collar. Attached to the collar is the jewel of his office. Now come with me to the principal's chair for a closer look. Here at the right hand of each of the three principals is their sceptre of office. Mounted at the top of each is the emblem of their office. The third principal represents Jeshua, or Joshua as he is often called, the son of the high priest Jozadak. His emblem of office is the mitre. The second principal represents Haggai the prophet, and his emblem is the all-seeing eye. The first principal represents Zerubbabel the prince and the ruler of the people, and his emblem is the royal crown. As Master Masons, you will be aware that there is much more for you to discover about Royalarch Masonry in your own time and in your own pace. No doubt you will have many questions you would like answered. We have explained how you can identify the Royalarch Masons in your lodge, and they will only be too pleased to help you to the best of their ability. To conclude this presentation, I invite you to witness the retirement of the principals.
Companions, while the most excellent principals and visiting principals retire, you will remain standing.
Before I join my companions at the festive board, I would like to thank you again for seeking out and watching this presentation. Its primary objective is, of course, to stimulate your interest in our wonderful order to a point where you will actively seek membership and eventually join in our many interesting and colourful degrees. I have no doubt that as a qualified Master Mason, your inquiry will be warmly received. I also wish to dispel any doubts about the compatibility of Royalarch Masonry with craft masonry. Indeed, Royalarch Masonry is an essential ingredient to your full appreciation and enjoyment of Freemasonry. You will discover that which is lost is found. The importance of this order can be expressed by saying that the majority of past Grand Masters have been or are very active senior Grand Officers in the Holy Royalarch Order. When I speak with Master Masons, I'm often asked the question, what, in my opinion, is the ideal time to become a Royalarch Mason? The answer is honestly and simply this: there is no time better than right now. Should you require any further information, the ever helpful staff at Grand Chapter Office can satisfy you with any questions you may have. Our office is located within Grand Lodge office in Perth. But for now, my brother, I bid you farewell and will go and join my companions for refreshment and to enjoy their companionship. Thank you again for your time, and I sincerely trust you will join our beautiful order and enjoy the companionship of the Holy Royalarch degree.
Okay, this is C1 take 2.
To our eminent companion. Yeah, well, just get out of the way, mate, look at them.
He accidentally discovers the great treasure of Freemasonry. Sorry.
Yeah, and at the time of preparing this
No, you moved too soon.
I invite you to witness the retirement of the principals. Oops. Bloody looked at him again.